Beyond Shakespeare presents The Play of the Weather by John Heywood. Going up. Welcome to the Parliament of the Gods. 10th floor, throne room of Jupiter and baby change facility.
Write far too long, as now were to recite the ancient estate wherein ourself hath reigned. What honour, what lord given us of very right, what glory we have had, duly unfeigned, of each creature which duty hath constrained. For above all gods since our fathers' fall, we, Jupiter, were ever principal. If we so have been, as truth it is indeed, beyond the compass of all comparison, who could presume to show for any meed, so that it might appear to human reason, the high renowned we standing at this season? For, since that heaven and earth were first create, stood we never in such triumphant estate as we now do, whereof we will report such part as we see meet for time present, chiefly concerning your perpetual comfort, as the thing self shall prove in experiment, which highly shall bind you on knees lowly bent, solely to honour our highness day by day. And now to the matter give ear, and we shall say before our presence in our high parliament, both gods and goddesses of all degrees hath late assembled by common assent for the redress of certain enormities, bred among them through extremities abused in each to other of them all, namely to purpose in these most special: our aforesaid father Saturn, and Phoebus, Aeolus, and Phoebe, these four by name, whose natures not only so far contrarious, but also of malice each other to defame, have long time abused right far out of frame the due course of all their constellations, to the great damage of all earthly nations, which was debated in place said before. And first, as became our father Saturn most ancient, with beard white as snow, his locks both coal and hoar, hath entered such matter as served his intent, lord in his frosty mansion in the firmament, to air and earth as thing most precious, purging all humours that are contagious. Howbeit he allegeth that, of long time past, little hath prevailed his great diligence. Full oft upon earth his fair frost he hath cast, all things hurtful to banish out of presence. But Phoebus, intending to keep him in silence, when he hath laboured all night in his powers, his glaring beams marreth all in 2 hours. Phoebus to this made no manner answering, whereupon they both then Phoebe defied, each for his part laid in her reproving, that by her showers superfluous they had tried, in all that she may their powers be denied. Whereunto Phoebe made answer no more than Phoebus to Saturn had made before. And on upon Aeolus all these did flee, complaining their causes each one a row, and said, to compare, none was so evil as he. For when he is disposed his blasts to blow, he suffereth neither sunshine, rain, nor snow. They each against each other, and he against all three. Thus can these four in no manner agree. They have in conclusion wholly surrendered into our hands as much as concerning all manner weathers by them engendered, the full of their powers for term everlasting to set such order as standeth with our pleasing, which thing, as of our part, no part required, but of all their parts right humbly desired to take upon us, whereto we did assent. But now, for fine, the rest of our intent. Wherefore, as now we hither are descended, is only to satisfy and content all manner people which have been offended, by any weather meet to be amended, upon whose complaints, declaring their grief, we shall shape remedy for their relief. And to give knowledge for their hither resort, we would this afore proclaim to be, to all our people, by some one of this sort, whom we list to choose here amongst all ye. Wherefore each man advance, and we shall see which of you is most meet to be our crier.
Now, I beseech you, my lord, look on me first. I trust your lordship shall not find me the worst.
Silence! Why, what art thou that approaches so nigh?
Forsooth, and please your lordship, it is I.
All that we know very well, but what I?
What I? Some say I am I, per se I, but what manner I soever be I assure your good lordship I am I.
What manner man art thou? Show quickly.
By God, a poor gentleman dwelleth hereby.
A gentleman? Thyself bringeth witness, nay, both in thy light behaviour and array. But what art thou called where thou dost resort?
Forsooth, my lord, Master Merry Report.
Thou art no meet man in our business, for thine appearance is of too much likeness.
Why cannot your lordship like my manner, mine apparel, nor my name neither?
To neither of all we have devotion.
A proper likelihood of promotion. Well then, as wise as ye seem to be, yet can ye see no wisdom in me. But since ye dispraise me for so light an elf, I pray you give me leave to praise myself. And for the first part I will begin in my behaviour at my coming in, wherein I think I have little offended, for sure my courtesy could not be amended. And as for my suit, your servant to be, might ill have been missed for your honesty. For as I be saved, if I shall not lie, I saw no man sue for the office but I. Wherefore, if ye take me not ere I go, ye must anon, whether ye will or no. And since your intent is but for the weathers, what skills are apparel to be frieze or feathers? I think it wisdom, since no man forbade it, with this to spare a better if I had it. And for my name, reporting always truly, what hurt to report a sad matter merrily? And for your purpose at this time meant, for all weathers I am so indifferent, without affection, standing so upright, sunlight, moonlight, starlight, twilight, torchlight, cold, heat, moist, dry, hail, rain, frost, snow, lightning, thunder, cloudy, misty, windy, fair, foul, above head or under. Temperate or distemperate, whatever it be, I promise your lordship, all is one to me.
Well, son, considering thine indifferency, and partly the rest of thy declaration, we make thee our servant, and immediately we will thou depart and cause proclamation, publishing our pleasure to every nation, which thing once done, with all diligence, make thy return again to this presence, here to receive all suitors of each degree, and such as to thee may seem most meetly, we will thou bring them before our majesty. And for the rest, that not be so worthy, make thou report to us effectually, so that we may hear each manner suit at large. Thus see thou depart, and look upon thy charge.
Now, good my Lord God, Our Lady be with ye. Friends of fellowship, let me go by ye. Think ye I may stand thrusting among you there? Nay, by God, I must thrust about other gear.
Now, since we have thus far set forth our purpose, a while we will withdraw our godly presence, to embold all such more plainly to disclose, as here will attend in our foresaid pretence. And now, according to your obedience, rejoice ye in us with joy most joyfully, and we ourselves shall joy in our own glory.
Third floor, Supplicant Assessment Office and Gift Shop. Please grovel responsibly. Please take a ticket, and Jupiter's representative will be with you shortly.
Now, sirs, take heed, for here cometh God's servant. Whew, avaunt, Carterly K-tips, avaunt. On my faith, I think in my conscience I have been from heaven as far as heaven is hence. Whew, at Louvain, at London, and in Lombardy, at Baldock, at Barfold, and in Barbary, at Canterbury, at Coventry, at Colchester, at Wandsworth, and Welbeck, at Westchester, at Fulham, at Failbourne, and at Fenlo, at Wallingford, at Wakefield, and at Walthamstow. The devil himself, without more leisure, could not have gone half thus much, I am sure. But now I have warned them, let them even choose. For in faith I care not who win or lose.
Supplicant number 1, please.
Now, by my troth, this was a goodly hearing.
Standy merry, my friends, everyone.
Down. Say that to me, and let the rest alone. Sir, ye be welcome. And all your many.
Now, in good sooth, my friend, God of mercy, and since that I meet thee here thus by chance, I shall require thee of further acquaintance. And briefly to shew thee, this is the matter. I come to sue to the great god Jupiter for help of things concerning my recreation, according to his late proclamation.
Marry, I am he that this must speed. But first, tell me, what be ye indeed?
Forsooth, good friend, I am a gentleman.
A goodly occupation, by St. Anne. But stand ye still, and take a little pain. I will come to you by and by again. Now, gracious God, if your will so be, I pray ye, let me speak a word with you.
My son, say on, let us hear thy mind.
My lord, there standeth a suitor even here behind, a gentleman in yonder corner, and as I think his name is Master Horner. A hunter he is, and cometh to make you sport. He would hunt a sow or twain out of this sort.
Whatsoever his mind be, let him appear.
Now, good Master Horner, I pray you come near.
I am no Horner, knave. I will thou know it.
Come on your way before the god Jupiter, and there for yourself ye shall be suitor.
Most mighty prince, and god of every nation, pleaseth your highness to vouchsafe the hearing of me, which, according to your proclamation, doth make appearance in way of beseeching, not so for myself, but generally for all come of noble and ancient stock, which sort above all doth most thankfully daily take pain for wealth of the common flock, with diligent study always devising to keep them in order and unity, in peace, to labour the increase of their living, whereby each man may prosper in plenty. Wherefore, good God, this is our whole desiring, that for ease of our pains, at times vacant in our recreation, which chiefly is hunting, it may please you to send us weather pleasant, dry, and not misty, the wind calm and still, that after our hounds journeying so merrily, chasing the deer over dale and hill, in hearing we may follow, and to comfort the cry.
Right well we do perceive your whole request, which shall not fail to rest in memory. Wherefore we will ye set yourself at rest, till we have heard each man indifferently, and we shall take such order universally, as best may stand to our honour infinite, for wealth in common, and each man's singular profit.
In heaven and earth honoured be the name of Jupiter, who of his godly goodness hath set this matter in so goodly frame, that every wight shall have his desire, doubtless. And first for us nobles and gentlemen, I doubt not in his wisdom to provide such weather as in our hunting, now and then, we may both tease and receive on every side, which thing, once had for our said recreation, shall greatly prevail you in preferring our health, for what thing more needful than our preservation, being the weal and heads of all commonwealth?
Sir, touching your suit here, depart when it please you, for be ye sure, as I can, I will ease you.
Then give me thy hand, that promise I take. And if for my sake any suit thou do make, I promise thy pain to be requited more largely than now shall be recited.
Next. Alas, my neck, God's pity, where is my head? By St. Eve, I fear me I shall be dead. And if I were, methink it were no wonder, since my head and my body is so far asunder.
Supplicant number 2, please.
Master Parson!
I'm not a priest, I'm a merchant.
Now welcome by my life. I pray you, how doth my mistress, your wife?
Sir, for the priesthood and wife that ye allege, I see ye speak more of dotage than knowledge. But let pass, sir. I would to you be suitor to bring me, if ye can, before Jupiter.
Yes, marry can I, and will do it indeed. Tarry, and I shall make way for your speed. In faith, good lord, if it please your gracious godship, I must have a word or twain with your lordship. Sir, yonder is another man in place, who maketh great suit to speak with your grace. Your pleasure once known, he cometh by and by.
Bring him before our present son. Hardly.
Most mighty prince and lord of lords all, right humbly beseecheth your majesty, your merchantmen through the world all, that it may please you, of your benignity, in the daily danger of our goods and life, first to consider the desert of our request. What wealth we bring the rest, to our great care and strife, and then to reward us, as ye shall think best, what were the surplusage of each commodity, which groweth and increaseth in every land, except exchanged by such men as we be, by way of intercourse that lieth on our hand. We fraught from home things whereof there is plenty, and home we bring such things as there be scant. Who should afore us merchants accompted be? For were not we, the world should wish and want in many things, which now shall lack rehearsal. And, briefly to conclude, we beseech your highness that of the benefit proclaimed in general, we may be partakers for common increase, establishing whether thus, pleasing your grace, stormy nor misty, the wind measurable, that safely we may pass from place to place, bearing our sails for speed most available, and also the wind to change and to turn, east, west, north and south, as best may be set, in any one place not too long to sojourn, for the length of our voyage may lose our market.
Right well have you said, and we accept it so. And so shall we reward you ere we go hence.
Aye.
But you must take patience till we have heard more, that we may indifferently give sentence. There may pass by us no spot of negligence, but justly to judge each thing so upright, that each man's part may shine in the self-right.
Now, sir, by your faith, if ye should be sworn, heard ye ever God speak so, since ye were born? So wisely, so gently his word showed.
I thank his grace, my suit is well bestowed.
Sir, what voyage intend ye next to go?
I trust ere mid-Lent to be to Scio.
Ha! Is it your mind to sail at Scio? Well, be of good cheer. Ye may trust me at Scio as well as here.
Eh?
For though ye were fro me 1,000 miles space, I could do as much as ye were here in place. For since that from hence it is so far thither, I care not, though ye never come again hither.
Sir, if ye remember me, when time shall come, though I requite not all, I shall deserve some.
Now fare ye well, and God thank you, by Saint Anne. I pray you mark the fashion of this honest man. He putteth me in more trust at this meeting here than he shall find cause why this 20 year.
Supplicant number 3, please.
God be here,
Now Christ keep us company.
In faith, ye be welcome, even very scantily. Sir, for your coming, what is the matter?
I would fain speak with the god Jupiter.
That will not be, but ye may do this. Tell me your mind. I am an officer of his.
Be ye so, marry. I cry you mercy. Your mastership may say I am homely, but since your mind is to have reported the cause wherefore I am now resorted, pleaseth your mastership it is so. I come for myself and such other rangers and keepers of certain places, as forests, parks, purlieus, and chases, where we be charged with all manner game. Small is our profit, and great is our blame. Alas, for our wages, what be we the near? What is 40 shillings or 5 mark a year? Many times and oft, where we be flitting, we spend 40 pence a piece at a sitting. Now, for our vantage, which chiefly is windfall, that is right naught. There bloweth no wind at all, which is the thing wherein we find most grief and cause for my coming to sue for relief, that the God of pity, all this thing knowing, may send us good rage of blustering and blowing. And if I cannot get God to do some good, I would hire the devil to run through the wood, the roots to turn up, the tops to bring under, a mischief upon them and a wild thunder.
Very well said. I set by your charity, as much in a manner as by your honesty. I shall set you somewhat in ease anon. Ye shall put on your cap when I am gone, for I see ye care not who win or lose, so ye may find means to win your fees.
Sir, as in that ye speak as it please ye, but let me speak with the God, if it may be. I pray you, let me pass ye.
Nay, sir, by the mass ye.
Then when I leave you, even as I found ye.
Go when ye will. No man here hath bound ye. Next.
Supplicant number 4, please.
What the devil should skyle though all the world were dumb, since in all our speaking we never be heard. We cry out for rain, the devil's speed drop will come. We watermillers be nothing in regard. No water have we to grind at any stint. The wind is so strong the rain cannot fall, which keepeth our mill dams as dry as a flint. We are undone. We grind nothing at all. Wherefore my conscience hath pricked me hither, in this to sue, according to the cry, for plenty of rain to the god Jupiter, to whose presence I will go even boldly.
Sir, I doubt nothing your audacity, but I fear me ye lack capacity. For if ye were wise, ye might well espy how rudely ye err from rules of courtesy. What, ye come in revelling and rehetting, even as a knave might go to a bear-baiting.
Hark, how familiarly he calleth me knave. Doubtless the gentleman is universal. But mark this lesson, sir. You should never call your fellow knave, nor your brother whoreson, for naught can ye get by it when ye have done.
Thou art neither brother nor fellow to me, for I am God's servant. Mayst thou not see? Would ye presume to speak with the great God? Nay, discretion and you be too far odd. By our lady, these knaves must be tired shorter. Sir, who let you in? Spake ye with a porter?
Nay, by my troth, nor with no other man. Yet I saw you well when I first began. Howbeit, so help me God and holy damn, I took you but for a knave, as I am. But marry, now, since I know what ye be, I must and will obey your authority. And if I may not speak with Jupiter, I beseech you be my solicitor.
As in that, I will be your well-willer. I perceive you to be a watermiller, and your whole desire, as I take the matter, is plenty of rain for increase of water, the let whereof ye affirm determinately is only the wind, your mortal enemy.
Truth it is, for it bloweth so aloft. We never have rain, what the most.
Supplicant
not
number
of.
5,
Wherefore,
please.
I pray you, put the god in mind, clearly, forever, to banish the wind.
How? Is all the weather gone or I come? For the passion of God help me to some.
Sir.
I am a windmiller as many mo be. No wretch in wretchedness so wretched as we. The whole sort of my craft be all marred at once. The wind is so weak it stirreth not our stones, nor scantly can shatter the shitten sail that hangeth shattering at a woman's tail. The rain never resteth, so long be the showers, from time of beginning till 24 hours, and end when it shall, at night or at noon. Another beginneth as soon as that is done. Such revel of rain, ye know well enough, destroyeth the wind, be it never so rough. Whereby, since our mills be come to still standing, now may we windmillers go even to hanging.
Oh.
A miller with a murrain and a mischief, who would be a miller? As good be a thief. Yet in time past, when grinding was plenty, who were so like God's fellows as we? As fast as God made corn, we millers made meal, which might be best forborne for common weal. But let that gear pass, for I fear our pride is cause of the care which God doth us provide. Wherefore I submit me, intending to see what comfort may come by humility. And now, at this time, they said in the cry, the God is come down to shape remedy.
No doubt he is here even in yonder throne. But in your matter he trusteth me alone, wherein I do perceive by your complaint oppression of rain doth make the wind so faint that ye windmillers be clean cast away.
If Jupiter help not, it is as ye say. But in few words to tell you my mind round, upon this condition I would be bound, day by day to say Our Lady's Psalter, that in this world were no drop of water, nor never rain, but wind continual. Then should we windmillers be lords over all.
Come on, and say how you twain can agree, a brother of yours, a miller as ye be.
I mean of our craft, we may be brothers, but whilst we live we shall never be lovers. We be of one craft, but not of one kind. I live by water, and he by the wind. And, sir, as ye desire wind continual, so would I have rain evermore to fall, which two in experience right well ye see, right seld or never together can be. For as long as the wind ruleth, it is plain, 20 to 1 ye get no drop of rain. And when the element is too far oppressed, down cometh the rain, and setteth the wind at rest. By this, ye see, we cannot both obtain, for ye must lack wind, or I must lack rain. Wherefore, I think good before this audience, each for ourselves to say, ere we go hence, and whom is thought weakest, when we have finished, leave off his suit, and content to be banished.
In faith, agreed. But then, by your licence, our mills for a time shall hang in suspense. Since water and wind is chiefly our suit, which best may be spared we will first dispute. Wherefore to the sea my reason shall resort, where ships by means of wind try from port to port, from land to land, in distance many a mile. Great is the passage and small is the while. So great is the profit as to me doth seem, that no man's wisdom the wealth can esteem. And since the wind is conveyor of all, who but the wind should have thanks above all?
Admit in this place a tree here to grow, and thereat the wind in great rage to blow. When it hath all blown, this is a clear case, the tree removeth no hairbreadth from his place. No more would the ships blow the best it could, although it would blow down both mast and shroud, except the ship fleet upon the water. The wind can right naught do, a plain matter. Yet may ye on water, without any wind, row forth your vessel, where men will have her send. Nothing more rejoiceth the mariner than mean calls of wind and plenty of water. For commonly the cause of every wrack is excessive wind, where water doth lack. In rage of these storms, the peril is such, that better were no wind than so far too much.
Well, if my reason in this may not stand, I will forsake the sea and leap to land. In every church where God's service is, the organs bear brunt of half the choiry whis, which causeth the sound, water or wind. Moreover, for wind, this thing I find, for the most part all manner minstrelsy. By wind they deliver their sound chiefly. Fill me a bagpipe of your water full, as sweetly shall it sound as it we stuffed with wool.
On my faith, I think the moon be at the full, for frantic fancies then be most plentiful, which are at the pride of their spring in your head, so far from our matter he is now fled. As for the wind in any instrument, it is no parcel of our argument. We spake of wind that cometh naturally, and that is wind forced artificially, which is not to purpose. But if it were, and water indeed, right naught could do there. Yet I think organs no such commodity, whereby the water should banished be. And as for your bagpipes, I take them as nifles. Your matter is all in fancies and trifles.
By God, but ye shall not trifle me off so. If these things serve not, I will rehearse more. And now to mine there is one old proverb come, 1 bushel of March dust is worth a king's ransom. What is 100,000 bushels worth then?
Not one mite, for the thing's self to no man.
Why shall wind everywhere thus be object? Nay, in the highways he shall take effect, whereas the rain doth never good but hurt. For wind maketh but dust, and water maketh dirt. Powder or syrup, sirs, which like ye best? Who liketh not the tone may lick up the rest. But sure whosoever hath essayed such sips had liever have dusty eyes than dirty lips. And it is said since afore we were born, that drought doth never make dearth of corn. And well it is known to the most fool here, how rain hath priced corn within this 7 year.
Sir, I pray thee spare me a little season, and I shall briefly conclude thee with a reason. Put case, 1 summer's day without wind to be, and rageous wind in winter days 2 or 3, much more shall dry that 1 calm day in summer than shall those 3 windy days in winter. Whom shall we thank for this, when all is done? The thank to wind? Nay, thank chiefly the sun.
What?
And so for drought, if corn thereby increase, the sun doth comfort and ripe all doubtless, and oft the wind so layeth the corn, God wot, that never after can it ripe, but rot. If drought took place, as ye say, yet may ye see, little helpeth the wind in this commodity. But now, sir, I deny your principle. If drought ever were, it were impossible to have any grain, for, ere it can grow, you must plough your land, harrow and sow, which will not be, except ye may have rain, to temper the ground, and after again, for springing and plumping all manner corn, yet must ye have water, or all is forlorn. If ye take water for no commodity, yet must ye take it for thing of necessity, for washing, for scouring, all filth cleansing, where water lacketh. What beastly being! In brewing, in baking, in dressing of meat. If ye lack water, what could ye drink or eat? Without water could live neither man nor beast, for water preserveth both most and least. For water I could say 1,000 things more, saving as now the time will not serve so. And as for that wind that you do sue for, is good for your windmill, and for no more. Sir, sith all this in experience is tried, I say this matter standeth clear on my side.
Well, since this will not serve, I will allege the rest. Sir, for our mills, I say mine is the best. My windmill shall grind more corn in 1 hour than thy watermill shall in 3 or 4, yea, more than thine should in a whole year, if thou mightest have as thou hast wished here, for thou desirest to have excessive rain, which thing to thee were the worst thou couldst obtain, for if thou didst, it were a plain induction to make thine own desire thine own destruction. For in excessive rain at any flood your mills must stand still. they can do no good. And when the wind doth blow the uttermost, our windmills walk amain in every coast. For as we see the wind in his estate, we moder our sails after the same rate. Since our mills grind so far faster than yours, and also they may grind at all times and hours, I say we need no water mills at all, for windmills be sufficient to serve all.
Thou speakest of all, and considerest not half.
Ha!
In boast of thy grist, thou art wise as a calf. For, though above us your mills grind far faster, what help to those from whom ye be much farther?
Well-
And of two sorts, if the one should be conserved, I think it meet the most number be served.
Well,
In vales and wealds where most commodity is, there is most people. Ye must grant me this.
well,
On hills and downs which part are most barren, there must be few. It can no more sustain.
well,
Dare well say, if it were tried even now, that there is 10 of us to 1 of Yao.
well,
And where should chiefly all necessaries be? But there as people are most in plenty.
oh my God.
More reason that you come 7 mile to mill, than all we of the vale should climb the hill.
If
rain came reasonable, as I require it, we should of your windmills have need no wit.
Stop, foolish knaves, for your reasoning is such that ye have reasoned even enough and too much. I heard all the words that ye both have had, so help me God, the knaves be more than mad. Neither of them both that have wit nor grace to perceive that both mills may serve in place. Between water and wind there is no such let, but each mill may have time to use his fet. But since ye cannot agree, I will desire Jupiter to set you both in such rest as to your wealth and his honour may stand best.
I pray you heartily remember me.
let not me be forgotten, I beseech ye.
If I remember you not both alike, I would ye were over the ears in the dike. Now be we rid of 2 knaves at one chance. By St. Thomas, it is a knavish riddance.
Supplicant number 6, please.
Now, good God, what a folly is this? What should I do where so much people is? I know not how to pass into the god now.
No, but ye know how he may pass into Yao.
I pray you, let me in at the backside.
Yea, shall I so, and your foresight so wide?
Uh-huh.
Nay, not yet, but since ye love to be alone, we twain will into a corner anon. But first, I pray you, come your way hither, and let us twain chat a while together.
Sir, as to you I have little matter. My coming is to speak with Jupiter.
Stand ye still a while, and I will go prove whether that the god will be brought in love. My lord, how now? Look up lustily. Here is a darling come by St. Anthony, and if it be your pleasure to marry, speak quickly, for she may not tarry. In faith, I think ye may win her anon, for she would speak with your lordship alone.
Son, that is not the thing at this time meant.
Jupiter.
If her suit concern no cause of our hither resort, send
Jupiter.
her out of place. But if she be bent to that purpose,
Hello, Jupiter.
hear her and make us report.
I count women lost if we love them not well, for you see God loveth them never a deal. Mistress, ye cannot speak with the god.
No! Why?
By my faith, for his lordship is right busy, with a piece of work that needs must be done. Even now is he making of a new moon. Wherefore, mistress, be ye now of good cheer, for though in his presence ye cannot appear, tell me your matter, and let me alone. Mayhap I will think on you when you be gone.
Forsooth, the cause of my coming is this. I am a woman right fair, as ye see. In no creature more beauty than in me is. And since I am fair, fair would I keep me. But the sun in summer so sore doth burn me. In winter the wind on every side me. No part of the year what I wear to turn me. But even in my house am I fain to hide me. And so do all other that beauty have, in whose name at this time this suit I make, beseeching Jupiter to grant that I crave, which is this, that it may please him, for our sake, to send us weather close and temperate, no sunshine, no frost, nor no wind to blow. Then would we jet the streets trim as a parrot. Ye should see how we would set ourselves to show.
Jet where ye will, I swear by Saint Quentin, ye pass them all, both in your own conceit and mine.
If we had weather to walk at our pleasure, our lives would be merry out of measure. One part of the day for our appareling, another part for eating and drinking, and all the rest in streets to be walking, or in the house to pass time with talking.
When serve ye God?
Who boasteth in virtue are but dolls.
Ye do the better, namely, since there is no cause. How spend ye the night?
In dancing and singing, till midnight, and then fall to sleeping.
I fear myself, except I may entreat her. I am so far in love I shall forget her. Now, good mistress, I pray you, let me kiss you.
Kiss me, quoth they. Why, nay, sir.
What?
I wish ye.
Yes, hardly. Kiss me once and no more. I never desired to kiss you before.
Supplicant number 7.
Away.
Have you always kissed her behind? In faith, good enough, if it be your mind. And if your appetite serve you so to do, by a lady, I would ye had kissed mine horse too.
To whom dost thou speak? Canst thou tell?
Nay, by my troth. I, sir, not very well, but by conjecture this guess I have, that I do speak to an old bawdy knave. I saw you dally with your simper de coquet. I read you beware she pick not your pocket. Such idle housewives do now and then. Think all well won that they pick from a man. Yet such of some men shall have more favour than we, that for them daily toil and labour. But I trust the God will be so indifferent, that she shall fail some part of her intent.
No doubt he will deal so graciously that all folk shall be served indifferently. Howbeit, I tell the truth, my office is such that I must report each suit little or much. Wherefore, with the gods' sins, thou canst not speak. Trust me with thy suit, I will not fail it to break.
Then lean not too much to yonder giglet, for her desire contrary to mine is set. I heard by her tale she would banish the sun, and then were we poor launders all undone. Except the sunshine that our clothes may dry, we can do right now in our laundry.
I think it better that thou envy me, than I should stand at reward of thy pity. It is the guise of such gross queens as thou art, with such as I am evermore to thwart, by cause that no beauty ye can obtain. Therefore ye have us that be fair in disdain.
When I was as young as thou art now, I was within little as fair as thou. So might have kept me if I had would, and as dearly my youth I might have sold, as the trickiest and fairest of you all. But I feared perils that after might fall. Wherefore some business I did me provide, lest vice might enter on every side, which have free entry where idleness doth reign. It is not thy beauty that I disdain, but thine idle life that thou hast rehearsed, which any good woman's heart would have pierced. But I perceive in dancing and singing, in eating and drinking, and thine appareling is all the joy wherein thy heart is set. But naught of all this doth thine own labour get, for hast thou nothing but of thine own travail, thou mightest go as naked as mine ale. Methink thou should abhor such idleness, and pass thy time in some honest business. Better to lose some part of thy beauty than so oft to jeopard all thine honesty. But I think, rather than thou wouldst so do, thou hadst liever have us live idly too. And so, no doubt we should, if thou mightest have the clear sum banished, as thou dost crave. Then were we launders marred, and unto thee thine own request was small commodity. For of these twain I think it far better thy face was sunburned, and thy clothes the sweeter, than that the sun from shining should be smitten, to keep thy face fair and thy smock beshitten. Sir, how like you my reason in her case?
Get you both hence, I pray you heartily. Your suits I perceive, and will report them truly unto Jupiter at the next leisure. And in the same desire to know his pleasure, which knowledge had, even as he doth show it, fear ye not, time enough ye shall know it.
Sir, if ye meddle, remember me first.
Then in this meddling my part shall be the worst.
Oh, is not this a sweet office that I have, when every drab shall prove me a knave? Every man knoweth not what God's service is, nor I myself knew it not before this. I think God's servants may live holily, but the devil's servants live more merrily.
Supplicant number 8, please.
Sir, I pray you, be not you Master God?
No, in good faith, son, but I may say to thee, I am such a man that God may not miss me. Wherefore, with the God, if thou wouldst have aught done, tell me thy mind, and I shall show it soon.
Forsooth, sir, my mind is this, at few words. All my pleasure is in catching of birds, and making of snowballs, and throwing the same, for the which purpose to have set in frame. With my godfather God I would fain have spoken, desiring him to have sent me by some token, where I might have had great frost for my pitfalls, and plenty of snow to make my snowballs, this once had boys' lives, be such as no man leads. Oh, to see my snowballs light on my fellows' heads, and to hear the birds, how they flicker their wings. In the pitfall, I say, it passeth all things. Sir, if you be God's servant or his kinsman, I pray you help me in this, if you can.
Alas, poor boy, who sent thee hither?
100 boys that stood together, where they heard one say in a cry that my godfather, God Almighty, was come from heaven by his own accord, this night to sup here with my lord. And father, he said, come whoso will, they shall sure have their bellies full, of all weathers who list to crave, each sort such weather as they list to have. And when my fellows thought this would be had, and saw me, so pretty a prattling lad, upon agreement with a great noise, send little Dick, cried all the boys. By which assent I am purveyed, to sue for the weather aforesaid, wherein I pray you to be good as thus, to help that God may give it us.
Oh, by such shift as I will make, thou shalt see soon what way he will take.
Sir, I thank you. Then I may depart.
Yea, farewell, good son, with all my heart. Now such another sort as here hath been in all the days of my life I have not seen. No suitors now, but women, knaves, and boys, and all their suits are in fancies and toys. If that there come no wiser after this cry, I will to the God and make an end quickly. Oyez, oyez, if that any knave here be willing to appear, for whether foul or clear, come in before this flock, and be he whole or sickly, come show his mind quickly, and if his tale be not likely, ye shall lick my tail in the knock. All this time I perceive is spent in waste. To wait for most suitors I see none make haste. Wherefore I will show the God all this process, and be delivered of my simple office.
10th floor.
Silence!
Now, Lord, according to your commandment, attending suitors I have been diligent, and at beginning as your will was I should, I come now at end to show what each man would. The first suitor before yourself did appear, a gentleman desiring weather clear, cloudy nor misty, nor no wind to blow, for hurt in his hunting, and then, as ye know, the merchant sued for all of that kind, for weather clear and measurable wind, and as they best bear their sails to make speed. And straight after this there came to me indeed another man who named himself a ranger, and said all of his craft be far brought in danger for lack of living, and chiefly is windfall. But he plainly saith there bloweth no wind at all, wherefore he desireth, for increase of their fleeces, extreme rage of wind, trees to tear in pieces. Then came a watermiller, and he cried out for water, and said the wind was so stout the rain could not fall, wherefore he made request for plenty of rain to set the wind at rest. And then, sir, there came a windmiller in, who said for the rain he could no wind win. The water he wished to be banished all, beseeching your grace of wind continual. Then came there another that would banish all this, a goodly dame, an idle thing it wis. Rain, wind, nor frost, nor sunshine would she have, but fair, close weather, her beauty to save. Then came there another that liveth by laundry, who must have weather hot and clear, her clothes to dry. Then came there a boy for frost and snow continual, snow to make snowballs, and frost for his pitfall, for which, God wot, he sueth full greedily. The first man would have weather clear and not windy, the second the same, save calls to blow meanly, the third desired storms and wind most extremely, the fourth all in water and would have no wind, the fifth no water but all winter grinned, the sixth would have none of these, nor no bright sun, the seventh extremely the hot sun would have won, the eighth and the last for frost and snow he prayed. By a lady we take shame, I am afraid. Who marketh in what matter this sport is led, may think it impossible all to be sped. This number is small, there lacketh 2 of 10. And yet, by the mass, among 10,000 men, no one thing could stand more wide from the t'other, not one of their suits agreeth with another. If ye trust to me, it is a great folly, for it passeth my brains by God's body.
Son, thou hast been diligent and done so well, that thy labour is right much thankworthy. But be thou sure we need no wit thy counsel, for in ourself we have foreseen remedy which thou shalt see. But first, depart hence quickly to the gentlemen and all other suitors here, and command them all before us to appear.
That shall be no longer in doing than I am in coming and going.
Though such debate as from above ye have heard, such debate beneath among yourselves ye see. As long as heads from temperance be deferred, so long the bodies in distemperance be. This perceive ye all, but none can help save we. But as we there have made peace concordiantly, so will we here now give you remedy.
If I had caught them, or ever I wrought them, I would have taught them to be near me. So dear have I bought them, Lord, so I sought them, yet have I brought them such as they be.
Pleaseth it your majesty, lord, so it is. We, as your subjects and humble suitors all, according as we hear your pleasure is, are pressed to your presence, being principal head and governor of all in every place. Who joyeth not in your sight, no joy can have. Wherefore, we all commit us to your grace as Lord of Lords, us to perish or save.
As long as discretion so well doth you guide obediently to use your duty, doubt ye not we shall your safety provide. Your griefs we have heard, wherefore we sent for ye to receive answer, each man in his degree. And first to content most reason it is. The first man that sued, wherefore mark ye this, oft shall ye have the weather clear and still, to hunt in for recompense of your pain. Also you merchants shall have much your will, for oft times when no wind on land doth remain, yet on the sea pleasant all ye shall obtain. And since your hunting may rest in the night, oft shall the wind then rise, and before daylight it shall rattle down the woods, in such case that all ye rangers the better live may. And ye watermillers shall obtain this grace many times the rain to fall in the valley, when at the self times on hills we shall purvey fair weather for your windmills, with such cools of wind as in one instant both kinds of mills may grind. And for ye fair women, that close weather would have, we shall provide that ye may sufficiently have time to walk in, and your beauty save. And yet shall ye have, that liveth by laundry, the hot sun oft enough your clothes to dry. Also ye, pretty child, shall have both frost and snow. Now mark this conclusion, we charge you a row. Much better have we now devised for ye all than ye all can perceive or could desire. each of you sue to have continual such weather as his craft only doth require. All weathers in all places, if men all times might hire. Who could live by other? What is this negligence us to attempt in such inconvenience? Now, on the t'other side, if we had granted the full of someone suit and no mo, and from all the rest the weather had forbid, yet whoso had obtained had won his own woe, there is no one craft can preserve man so, but by other crafts of necessity he must have much part of his commodity, all to serve at once, and one destroy another, or else to serve one and destroy all the rest. Neither will we do the one nor the other, but serve as many or as few as we think best. And where, or what time, to serve most or least, the direction of that doubtless shall stand perpetually in the power of our hand. Wherefore we will the whole world to attend, each sort on such weather as for them doth fall. Now one, now other, as liketh us to send. Who that hath it, ply it, and sure we shall so guide the weather in course to you all, that each with other ye shall whole remain in pleasure and plentiful wealth certain.
Blessed was the time wherein we were born. First, for the blissful chance of your godly presence. Next, for our suit. There was never man beforn that ever heard so excellent a sentence as your grace hath given to us all a row, wherein your highness hath so bountifully distributed my part that your grace shall know yourself sole possessed of hearts of all chivalry.
Likewise, we merchants shall yield us wholly, only to laud the name of Jupiter as God of all gods, you to serve solely, for of everything I see, you are nourisher.
No doubt it is so, for so we now find, wherein your grace us rangers so doth bind, that we shall give you our hearts with one accord, for knowledge to know you as our only Lord.
Well, I can no more, but for our water we shall give your lordship our Lady's Psalter.
Much have ye bound us, for as I be saved, we have all obtained better than we craved.
That is true, wherefore your grace shall truly the hearts of such as I am have surely.
And such as I am, who be as good as Yao, his highness shall be sure one and make a vow.
Godfather God, I will do somewhat for you again. By Christ, ye may hap to have a bird or twain, and I promise you, if any snow come, when I make my snowballs, ye shall have some.
God thank your lordship. Lo, how this is brought to pass. Now shall ye have the weather even as it was.
We need no wit ourselves any farther to boast, for our deeds declare us apparently. Not only here on earth, in every coast, but also above in the heavenly company, our prudence hath made peace universally, which thing we say recordeth us as principal God and governor of heaven, earth, and all. Now unto that heaven we will make return, where we be glorified most triumphantly. Also we will all ye that on earth sojourn, since cause giveth cause to know as your Lord only. And now here to sing most joyfully, rejoicing in us, and in meantime we shall ascend into our throne celestial.
In the play of The Weather by John Heywood, Jupiter was played by Hayden McCabe, Mary Report by Robert Crichton, The Gentleman by Gear Madland, The Merchant by Rob Myson, The Ranger by Simon Nader, The Watermiller by Alan Scott, The Windmiller by Richard Fawcett, The Gentlewoman by Gillian Horgan, The Launder by Nemone Stone, and The Boy by Andy Barrett. Additional voices of the gods were Hugh Wellapoli and Adam Thurkettle, and members of the company. The announcer was Sarah Golding. The Play of the Weather was produced by Robert Crichton for the Beyond Shakespeare podcast. For more details about us, go to www.beyondshakespeare.org or follow us on Twitter @BeyondShakes.
God.